Hello everybody, it's Calxiyn here. If you guys enjoyed this video, remember that you guys should become a patron over on Patreon or join our Discord server.
Can you name 3 types of STDs?
Okay, so if you guys want to know what that's a reference to, I'm gonna upload that bit for the patrons so they can enjoy that. Anyway, so we're gonna talk about the episode today.
Cal asked me after I asked her that, like, is chlamydia an STD? And I said, Cal, yes, chlamydia is an STD.
I like whatever, it's fine.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
So RWBY's headbutt thing, that was a callback to I think what Oscar did to her in
so we're just right in the episode.
Yeah, the combat thingy, so that was nice. I like how she was like, whatever it takes to shut you up. Like, there were just so many funny lines in this episode. Like, I was just like, there were so many, like, good moments, good dialogue.
Nora was a motherfucker.
Yeah, Nora, I really liked Nora's line delivery, and I'll get to that in a minute. But anyways, so I like that Jean was just like, I wish it would go faster, and I'm like, bitch ass, like, that's such a Jean thing to say. Like, it's not necessarily an annoying thing to say, but at the same time, it's just such a Jean thing to say, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you know, like, I saved Weiss's life and everything, but I wish this could go faster, you know, I have a hair appointment at 7 p.m. at night or whatever, like, you gotta fix those roots, but for whatever reason, he's just like, nah, TikTok, motherfucker, okay? Like, Weiss, you gotta heal yourself a little faster, please, like, I don't know, like, Jean chill, and I like how Nora was like, you know, like, be glad that you're healing her, you idiot. Anyway. And then Jean says that her aura is healing her, but he was just amplifying it. And so, okay, so I got a bitch-ass comment this morning from someone being like, it has nothing to do with anybody's aura, you dumb fucking bitch. It's just healing. And I hope that that person is watching this and they feel you are a very silly sausage, my friend. Okay? Like,
you silly sausage.
I'll never forget that. And yeah, and so last week we did a video called Jean has aura transfer, dash whatever it is. And so I guess I'll do one more, like, finally clarifying it, but I'm glad that Hunter and I were basically right this entire time, and everybody that said that it was straight healing should feel fucking ridiculous. Like, y'all, I want a written apology from that person that said that to me this morning. Like,
signed in triplicate.
I know, exactly. Like, I want a $5 donation for emotional pain anyways. But I knew that I was gonna be right, and so I didn't reply to him. I just deleted it, because I was just like, oh, you'll see, honey. Like, you'll see. It's okay.
You have a penchant for deleting comments, don't you?
I mean, I never used to delete anything. I used to reply to everybody, but I'm like, okay, some of y'all are just not worth my time. And so I'm just gonna, that was my New Year's resolution, for 2018, was like, some of y'all just aren't, like, some of y'all just don't matter. I have better things to do.
Mine was to study more, anyways.
Yeah, how's that going for you? Anyways.
Well, fuck, it would be going great, except I'm here talking about a TV show with you playing video games.
I also like how Jean was like, Kira once told me I had a lot of it,
I'm not letting
like
you
the
start this.
Stuff.
You are a detriment to my
nice.
GPA. I almost said STD again, anyways.
Anyway. So when Ren got electrocuted, like, that scream, like, just got me in my soul. Like, I don't know what else to say. And I like how, you know, Nora just goes over and fucks up Hazel. Like, I figured that was gonna happen, because we did a video about that, too, the other week, how Nora was just gonna, have all of it, or whatever.
Because he used electricity, and then there's a scene where, like, she's getting zapped in the head, and she's like, ooh!
Yeah, exactly.
And what was her line? Was like,
she said, he just needs to fall down or something.
Or
to go down.
I thought she said,
down.
If she said all he has to do is die, I'd be like, wow, fucking Nora got metal real quick. Dear. But it was just get down. It was still a great line.
So apparently, Hazel can block out pain, and I do want to talk about that in a separate video, because, like, meaningfulness and symbolism and stuff.
I hurt myself today.
Anyways, I also like how Jean explains what happens to Weiss, and Weiss is just like, well, that's annoying. Like, I mean, if I almost died, I'd probably say the same thing. Like, come on now. Like, I have better stuff to do than die. And so I like how Nora threw Hazel outside. Like, that was a good job.
Yeah, he just, like, there's just a big-ass, like, Bugs Bunny-like hole in the window.
Yeah.
Fucking...
And I like how Hazel, like, Adam's, or not Adam, but one of the White Fang grunts is like, hey, what's going on? And then Hazel's like, that's none of your concern. And then he just sticks the fire dust in him, and meanwhile Adam's lackeys are like, well, fuck. So, I wrote down recovery, but I don't know what that's supposed to
Wow, you don't even remember your notes.
mean. Okay.
Should
anyway,
I think they're indecipherable?
It says fire, dust, Hazel, and then under that it says recovery, and then what happened to Emerald Mercury, but then we see what happens.
Yeah,
so
for
Emerald,
one scene they look like
yeah, so they just kind of stood there for a second, because I guess they were surprised at seeing Hazel jump out of the window, but then Emerald blocks something that Yang does, and that
And we also talk about how wonderful, like, this small moment is, where, so Yang is gonna go over, and she's gonna run, and she's gonna chase after Raven. And where
wait, we're not even there yet.
What? I thought you just talked about that.
No, I just said that he went through the window. That's where we're at right now.
I'm about to talk about that very soon, so stay posted.
Anyways. I'm sorry.
Syphilis, that's another one. Anyways, continue.
Syphilis isn't a disease, is it?
I love how you didn't say sexually transmitted disease, you said disease. It's a disease, but it's also an STD.
Oh. You make jokes about that all the time, though. That's not
Syphilis?
nice. Yeah, I didn't know what it was because, like, in the context that you've used it sometimes, like...
When have I used syphilis?
I don't know, like, I'll just... If you guys didn't, like, heard any videos with Hunter using syphilis in it, just comment them for me, please.
I specifically remember.
Sometimes you say stuff like that, and I didn't, okay, whatever.
Can we do, like, talking about syphilis with Hunter?
Listen, I don't know any... Look, we went to a Catholic school, nobody taught me anything about sex.
Listen,
anyways, that's alright.
They made sure to tell you about the scary parts of sex.
I know,
but I thought my dick was gonna turn into a basilisk.
No one told me about... Still, I don't think they talked about STDs in religion. They were just like, if you don't have sex, you won't get any of them, so don't worry about it.
They were like syphilis will make you sterile and will make you go insane, which happened to a lot of people.
Anyways. So I like how Blake is on the roof, and then Hazel's like, "Who's that?" And I was just like, "Oh, Hazel, honey, no." But yeah, I don't know how he delivered that. That was just funny. Anyway, so I like how Adam like took the time to gloat because he was just like, I spent so much time trying to get you to deliver to me, but now you've delivered yourself or something like that, whatever he said. Like, you can't stop us, Blake, or whatever. Like, I don't know, he got away from, like, the my love stuff. Like, I'm surprised that wasn't brought up again. However, Adam isn't dead yet. Like, Adam just got hit on the head, and a lot of people thought that he was knocked out because they were like, well, that was anticlimactic. No, he's just on the ground. Like, chill out. I'm sure he's getting back up. Like, don't worry.
There's this also sort of weird moment where he like dashes forward and Blake shadow clones, and she's off to her side, and it's like, oh fuck, is he gonna stab her? But she just raises her hands.
Yeah.
And like Captain Kirk.
I think if he was knocked out, that would be a little bad. But he's not knocked out, he just fell over, and
also,
I think that's fine.
These, like, White Fang fools are totally, like...
I mean, they just saw Hazel gotten thrown out the window, though. They were already kind of, like, distracted by that.
And there's just, like, like, there's the police. Like, they called the police in Kylie's
Anyway, I'm not done!
Anyway.
Ah, okay. So I liked my idea for all of the faunus jumping off the roof and onto the ground better, but, like, they still came, quote-unquote, from shadows, so, like, whatever. I liked my idea, but that's fine.
It reminds
me of
a
hire me,
scene
Rooster Teeth, it's okay.
What's it called? Not There Will Be Blood, another Daniel Day, Gangs of New York, where they sort of have a street fight, and there's like you think I'm alone, and then more people with like bats and shit join them. It's fun.
Also that Mata, the goat guy, who we said like he got a name, so he must have been a bit more important. Apparently, like someone related to him was in the White Fang, and now we kind of see why his mom didn't want him to go over there. You know what I mean? I just think that that's interesting how. Like, this random sheep guy has more development than RWBY this volume, but, like, it's okay.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Also, I
like how it
so
makes
I don't know what the gif is, but have you guys seen the gif of, like, the black guy who has a little smile on his face and he's holding up the telephone or whatever? Like, he's holding up a phone? And it's like I want to speak to the manager sort of thing. Hold on. I'm gonna find it for Hunter. But as we continue, so basically, Callie calling the police is pretty much the highlight of my fucking existence. Like that's the best. Okay, so Hunter, it's this one. You've never seen this before? Okay, I'm gonna make sure to edit it into the video so you guys know what we're talking about. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean for you to die. I wanted to show you my meme. Anyway, I can't believe you've never seen that. Anyway, so Callie calling the police was probably the best thing that anyone's done in RWBY in general. Like, in terms of intelligence. Like, I know they're like, well, what are the police gonna do? Well, they have legal authority, so there's that. Anyways.
They're Huntress, they got ass-kicking authority.
So that's why I love Callie, because she called the police when no one else did. Anyways.
Like, they're so, like, outnumbered. Like, I really do think that Salem's gonna show up at the last moment
and be like, okay, so Salem, you know what? Salem should come up in the middle of the schoolyard and be like, what the fuck? Like, okay, so first of all, you just got hit over the head by your girlfriend, and now you're on the ground. My other maiden is somewhere in the void, because we didn't really hear Salem fall, like, or Cinder fall, like, Cinder fall. Like, we didn't hear her, clang, like, on the ground. So that was just a fucking bottomless fucking pit.
Is that the noise a Cinder makes
I don't
when
know.
she... Yeah, so we just skipped over that?
Okay, we're gonna go back. I just wanted to say, and so Salem's
I felt like
gonna
you skipped over the best fight scene Ruby has ever had.
We're gonna keep going, but I'm just saying that, like, Salem's, like, gonna be like, and I didn't even want you in the first place, like, talking to Adam, and then meanwhile Adam's like, what the hell? Anyway, it's okay. Anyway, Emerald is like, oh, fuck the cops, because remember that Emerald was...
Fuck the police!
Remember that Emerald was somebody that stole stuff, right?
Yeah,
so she's probably like, oh
no!
no!
Fuzz! Like, she'd be the most
exactly.
concerned.
She looked the most concerned, and I like...
Oh, what? I was gonna... Okay, I'm not gonna make that joke. Anyways. Okay. Gonorrhea is another type of STD, Cal.
I hate you so much. Are you gonna say something racist? That's
I'm
not
just saying,
nice.
I'm not racist, it's just, you know, the one time the police show up, the only black girl in the show is like, oh, fuck me.
Yeah, meanwhile, Hazel's just like, it's none of the police's concern. Like, okay, anyways, yeah, so I like how Weiss is like, I feel much better now, and then she's like, keep it up. Like, as if, like, Jean's like, I don't know, okay, so this is a weird, like, image, but all I see is, like, Jean going down on Weiss and Weiss not really giving a shit, and then Weiss is just like, no, head down, honey, like, keep it up, or whatever. Like, he's some sort of a sex slave, but that's another story. Hunter, why are you just, like, not saying anything? You understand what I'm saying,
Wait, you said sex slave, what?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Did you zone out?
I zoned out because I was thinking about STDs, as you do, but what, sex slaves? What?
Because I'm saying that, like, when Weiss was like, keep it up, all I could think of was, okay, so we watched this, like, trash show called Dynasty on Netflix, and basically,
you
do. She's fucking the driver, and so, like, she pushes the driver's head down when, like, he's,
going down on her?
Yeah, and then she's just, like, cute.
Come on now.
Keep it up,
we know where
or whatever,
your spot is.
right? And so that's what Weiss sounded like to me. Like, she sounded
kind of drunk too.
She sounded a little like bitchy in that line, but in a good way. I don't know how else to explain it. I'm sorry if I gave you that mental image. I'm not shipping Jean and Weiss when I say that. I just mean, like.
Also, there was no like white knight nonsense. It was a lot of like, all right, kid, you did a good job. Now I want to go and tussle. And tussle she does.
Yeah, exactly. And I like how Blake's like, Adam, it's over, and then Adam just tries to blow everyone up.
Yeah.
And then the white-faced guys are like, what the fuck are you doing? And then, like...
Yeah, there's this wonderful moment where they're like, yeah, not for nothing, down to die, but like, holy shit, dude, you almost killed like all of us.
Yeah.
Short of the fuckers on the helicopter, we're all doomed. Anyways.
Callie is the only one to survive.
Yeah, and that's how it became Callie.
Ilya broke the bombs. And I just have something to say about that. So, there's this beautiful smile instrumental that plays when Ilya comes out of the shadows, and it's revealed that she's the one that basically disabled the bombs and saves everyone, and it's such a pure fucking piece of music. Like, I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. Like, it's just so beautiful and stuff. So yeah, it's just, when you listen to it, like, you can just, it's a beautiful instrumental track. Okay, so we're not even halfway done in my notes. Okay, so, this is your business, not mine, fix it. And then, Adam's just like, okay, and he goes to stab Blake. Blake, again, vanishes away. And then, you know, Blake just sucker punches him and he falls on the floor. And, like, if Adam was knocked out, I would get why people are kind of mad about that scene, but he's nowhere near being defeated yet, so y'all gotta chill. Also, when Weiss summoned the Lancer to pull Hazel back into the room, which I don't know why they would do, just because he was out of the room. Like, I guess he could have walked back into himself, or you could catch him off guard, but, like, who knows if he was gonna go back inside. Anyway. A really nice instrumental of Life Is Mine was playing with the Lancer, so that was nice. And I like how after Weiss does that, she sees Blake, boom, and then Ruby sees Blake, boom, and then Yang sees Blake, boom, and then all Blake says is Yang, and then Ruby, like, is just like, Yang, go, like, now, and I'm just like, what do you mean, Yang, go? Like, at least, like, y'all can have a minute, but whatever. Blake seemed to be understanding that they were kind of in the middle of something. So then Yang kind of slid past Emerald. And remember, in the analysis that we did, I said that Yang was gonna shoot her arm off at a later date. Do you remember that I said that?
Like the Iron Giant? Like the
last time when she did it to Nora, yeah. I said that's gonna come in handy later. They're gonna do that again in a serious moment.
Also, I never... This is what...
But do you remember that I said that?
I don't remember that, but I believe that you said that.
Somebody... I don't remember what someone said exactly, but they're like, Cal, pick up the phone because you called it, or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it was pretty funny. Anyways.
And there's also this wonderful moment there where, like, Mercury grabs on, and Weiss has this look on her face where she's about, like, it goes like, red. And she's about, like, I'm about to waste this fool. And then it goes back to purple. It's like, nah, fuck it. And it pops it off, and she runs away. You get a lot of... I feel like Yang is going from the fiery one to the, like, zen one of them.
I don't think so. I think she's still fiery, but
I feel like she's letting go of a lot of anger. And I feel like especially that she's going to her mother and lets go of anger.
And I do want to talk about that in a different video, but I don't think it's losing her anger, but really taking what Tai Yang said... to heart. That it's about picking your battles, and she, instead of going out on Mercury can just have her hand. It's okay. Like, she has better stuff to do. Like, it's about having better stuff to do. It's about reclaim. Like, when I said that I don't reply to some comments anymore and I just delete them, like, it's about reclaiming my time. Like, that is what I remember the politician in the United States that she said that. Do you remember that? Is that there was this video and this woman was trying to talk and she said that
she's a goddess. She's floating.
She said that the guy, I don't remember the context.
It was Rob Lowe. It was Rob Lowe, and Rob Lowe believes that, or like Rob Lowe, the guy who did Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. He believes that vaccines cause autism, which they don't.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I will go up to this like Democratic senator and I will like debate her. And the Democratic senator was like, I'm gonna die soon, like one day, and I don't want to spend time debating Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying, like, this is basically the same thing, but for me in terms of the comments, and then for Yang, like, it's just about Yang, like, saying, one day I'm gonna die, and I don't want to waste these 5 minutes trying to fight you, because I really do not give a shit. And I think that's really powerful for a character, but that's a separate video. Anyway, so I like also how Blake just kind of nodded to RWBY and they kind of had this understanding of like, listen, we got everything here, like, you go do what you were doing, it's fine. Okay, so... Okay, so Cinder says, the last Spring Maiden must have trusted you a great deal before she died. I bet she bet she thought that was a mistake or something like that. So that kind of like, Cinder is assuming here that like, Raven didn't just kill a bitch, that like Raven actually
murked a motherfucker.
That like that Raven or the old Spring Maiden may have entrusted her powers to Raven, which is something that we actually talked about last week, remember? So I would like to do another video on that to kind of talk about the implications of that line, if that's true, because basically she, like, and what does Cinder know, right? Like, how does she know that? But it's sort of like, I feel like that line, at least to me, kind of reads that the Spring Maiden was dying and came across Raven and decided that Raven was a worthy soul, sort of thing.
Also,
but we'll talk about that
nothing,
later.
Vernell is toast. Vernell is dead.
I don't want to talk about that right now.
She, like, Raven straight up said, thank you, Vernell, and then, like, closed her eyes.
Okay, maybe the relic can help her. I want to do one last crack video about if we can save her or not. Just one last one. You know, for old time's sake, right? Anyway. Yeah, so they had some beautiful motions in this video. I don't, like, know, or in this episode, I don't know how to explain it better than that. Like, it's hard for, I feel, Hunter and me to talk about fight scenes, because it's just, like...
It's my favorite fight scene.
Oh, yeah,
I think
sure.
I like that better than the
done.
Yang Neo one. That is my new favorite. I like it better than the Team Funky one.
So
I like it better.
They also said that Aura couldn't protect her arm because it's a Grim arm, and so I think that Raven pointing that out, that was nice. I wrote down beautiful blade action, but like...
it was some beautiful
but
blade action.
I don't know how to explain it from that point. Like, it was so beautiful.
And it was colorful, and there was particle flex everywhere, and it was gorgeous, and they used, like, all their tricks, and they did, like, oh, it was great.
I also said that Cinder said... Raven said to Cinder that she turned herself into a monster for power, and then, you know, Cinder was kind of like, well, look at you. And we did talk about that last week with her mask. We talked about that that Raven may wear the Grim mask because she sees herself as a monster, and we did talk about that last week, so I think that's very interesting that it's now brought up in the show. Also, someone's like, Cal, you finally unlocked your semblance. It's predicting the next episodes of RWBY. And I'm like, thanks, guys. Like, I feel very loved. But next time I get something majorly wrong, y'all are gonna roast me, and that's what I'm afraid of. So, like, I can't take any W's this year. Or I can't take any L's this year. I'm taking a lot of W's, I should say. Anyway, so Cinder launching herself in the air was great. I don't know which one time that is referring to. Also, I love the weapon switch. That reminded me of a lot of different things. It's used in a lot of things, whether it's video games or anime or whatever. Yeah, so nice weapon switch. I like that. And I like the maiden balls. I don't know how to explain that, but they were in sort of a hamster ball around themselves, if that makes sense with their magic. You know what I mean, right? They had a spear around them. Why aren't you saying anything?
It was just so awesome.
You understand what I'm saying?
And it reminded me of, like, the finale of Avatar: The Last Airbender, where Yang had stuff swirling around him, and it was elemental stuff, and, like, it was, like, red versus, like, blue. Ha, ha, ha. I see what you did there, Rooster Teeth. Anyways, oh, it was Super Saiyan, because they were, like, flying around, and they were jumping over stalactites.
I want this new...
Stalagmites.
I want this new ship to be called the Song of Ice and Fire, but I think another ship name has taken over.
Hellbirds is what I heard.
Yeah,
also,
we did this.
Moms.
Remember when we did the shipping video and I said that it wasn't sexy and they haven't interacted and all this stuff?
Now,
like,
after you see them literally kill each other, you were like, yeah, they'd have sex.
Yeah.
The
ice breaking was beautiful, by the way. Like when Raven's weapon broke up into little ice pieces, like that was so beautiful.
You want to know how much of a waste I am, Cal?
What? What did you do?
When I was watching the stalactites, because I know this because of Tales of Symphonia.
Yeah.
Fall, I was like, wow, that probably took them a really long time to make, and now they're all gone. They have
what
to
do you
start
mean,
over.
the stalagmites?
Yeah, it takes them like millions of years to build them
up.
up.
You mean the stalagmites have to start over, not the animators.
No, it's
stalactites.
No, because stalagmites go up, Cal.
But you're saying that you feel sorry for the rocks because it's going to take them another million years.
Fictitious rocks.
Okay.
What can I say?
Anyway, so something else I wanted to talk about is that Cinder choking out Raven scared me for a second. Like, her arm had me going for a second, like when she had her hand around like the neck or whatever. So that freaked me out. Yeah, so Cinder's like choking out Raven, like that freaked me out. Like I'm not gonna lie, like it had
when you
me
started
going.
shipping them again? You were like, oh.
No, it's just like, I was just like, wow, is Raven actually gonna die? And I guess that Cinder didn't get to absorb, like, it went up her arm a little bit, but I'm guessing that it just went back to Raven after it was done, sort of thing.
That's what that was. I was wondering why.
Yeah, because she was trying to just get all of her shit, right?
And I guess, wait, so we don't know who the new Fall Maiden is.
Yeah, you're right. You're
right.
We don't even know if Cinder's dead, so, like, let's get to that in a minute. I'm not done yet.
Listen, Cal, you cut me off too. Vernal hurt, but like if Cinder's dead, Cinder's like the main waifu.
I really don't care. Like I don't want to say it like that.
What?
Like it's not that I dislike Cinder, but if like she just never showed up again, I would be like, yeah, okay.
Like it's been long enough. You feel like it's kind of like Torchwick, where it's like,
yeah,
okay,
like I mean. There's so much we don't know about her, and so I'm sad, but at the same time, I feel like that they're really trying to shed their past, if that makes sense. Like, they're really trying to get rid of past mistakes they made. And I'm not saying Cinder is a mistake, but they're really trying to kind of sort themselves out. And so if this is what they need to finally kind of get it together, then okay. But that's another video that we can talk about later.
I feel similar that to Adam, and I feel
like that's what I'm saying. Like, wrapping up all of the White Fang shit with Blake, like, that's the best thing that can be done for this series at the current moment, I believe. I'm not saying that Cinder dying is also a good thing for the show. I just think that if they're like, listen, we made a mess with her, like, it's best to just get rid of her and move on, I'm just like, yeah, okay. Like, if that's what they need to do...
like, super cool looking. Like,
I know, but if that's what they need to do...
We see her Zuko eye.
I don't think that she's dead, to be honest, but, like, if that's what they need to do, then I understand. Because, like, I'm sure a lot of people have been in that position before, where they write themselves into a corner, or they almost write themselves into a corner, and it's television, so you can't go back and fix it, right? So I feel them. I do feel them. But yeah, whether she's actually dead or not will be something that we talk about later, later in the week. But yeah, I'm not saying that I want her to die. I'm saying that I'm pretty indifferent, like, to her dying from a writing standpoint. Like, obviously I wanted to know more about her and stuff, but I think that Emerald, if she got the Spring Maiden powers, would be a lot more interesting, just because we know that she's devoted to Cinder. We know she owes everything to Cinder, and we talked about this in the video where we discussed Cinder's fate and everything, but we talked about how interesting it would be for Emerald to really be like, I never cared about this, but because I cared about Cinder, I have to uphold what she would have wanted. Like,
also,
all of that stuff is pretty interesting to me.
Also, who doesn't want, like, I kind of want more of Emerald and Mercury. I feel like they can be interesting character that has been, like, totally underutilized.
And again, not saying that Cinder's not, because she is, like, I don't know, like, she had parts of her that were, like, very, I don't know, like,
mysterious.
Exciting and stuff, you know what I mean? Like, she had a great voice actor, all of her lines were great.
Although Nigri's still on for some more seasons.
Well,
so
we don't know, like, because we've talked about that she's had an 8-season contract, right? And we've talked about that before, but the thing is that I can't find a verifiable source for that information. I still can't. We have talked about it in passing, and so I don't want to say that I misled you. I accidentally started something on Tumblr the other day.
Oh,
like no, but I mean, like, I accidentally spread a rumor and I didn't mean to. I guess it wasn't really a rumor about this show.
Do you want to know what my last Tumblr misadventure was?
Like, just let me finish. So, remember that picture of Callie and Gira that I had up? And so I said that this was a picture of them. Yeah. But then I made an edit to that and said, wait a second, no, like, Gira doesn't have ears or whatever. So this has to be somebody else. But by then, nobody was reblogging my reblog of my reblog. So my edited version, they were all reblogging that this was a picture of Callie and Gira. And, like, out of the 500 or 600 people that had notes on it, like, nobody seemed to be like, oh, wait a second. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean by I spread a rumor by accident. That's just how stuff happens sometimes. But yeah, so what was I saying again? Yeah, so we have kind of been endorsing the 8 seasons thing, but in actuality, we don't know if that's true, and, like, not to say that Jessica Nigri doesn't want to do RWBY anymore, but, like, her life is going in a very interesting direction.
Well, she's still really...
You know what I mean? She's still a part of Rooster Teeth. Rooster Teeth did an entire documentary about her. I'm just saying that maybe she's getting busy, and not that they couldn't recast her, but, like, if they wanted to end the arc anyway, and she's also kind of like, you know, it's kind of time to... Because obviously Monty kind of made Cinder with Jessica in mind, I would think, just like how he made... you know, Yang for Barbara, right? Yeah. And so it's hard to replace someone when they're that connected to a character, when you wrote that character around a real person, so to say, because that's kind of how Yang is written. Yang is written around Barbara, right? And so if you suddenly replace Barbara, it's not happening, you know what I mean? Like, there's not that connection. But again, I don't want to talk about this in this video. I think we can do lots of videos about Cinder this week. But yeah, it's not that, like, personally, like, I had an attachment to her. Like, I think she's super cool and everything. But now, like, the more I think about it, the more I'm, like, more okay with it. What I'm not okay with is Vernal dying, if I'm perfectly honest. That makes me a little upset.
And she's so dead. Like,
and Vernal didn't even get the same amount of development of Cinder, right? And so, like, it's just about preferences at this point.
But also, it's totally just been, like, Vernal's not the... She's just someone who showed up who was good, that was friends with Raven.
And I think that's nice that she was friends with Raven, though. That's the thing. And we loved
her all the same. Also, I love Raven so much. She's like the Severus Snape of RWBY. Like, you never quite know where he stands and she stands until, like, the very last moment. Like, oh, she protected the
Also, I love the song that was happening when they were fighting.
Yeah.
Like, because it was like, it said, here's where you'll die, and then it said, sing your swan song. And so I'm guessing that is going to be Raven's theme song. And that Sacrifice is still actually Cinder's song. I know a lot of people kind of jumped on that train for a while, that Sacrifice was actually Raven's song, but this seemed, because of the swan song thing, that's what that implies to me.
Yeah, Severus Snape.
Unless it's the opposite. Unless this is Cinder talking to Raven, like, Raven, sing your swan song, here's where you die, and it's about her being cocky, but then Sacrifice is actually Raven's
And also, she lost
but I don't know about that. Huh? She lost the anime? What?
Or rather, Cinder did. And she was talking shit, but I digress.
Raven stabbed her blade into the rock, and then, like, used it to, like, maneuver her body to, like, do a little swingy thing. I don't know how else to best explain that, but I really like that. And then Cinder's like, or the Raven was like, if you were stronger or more clever, you'd remember to watch your back, and then Vernal just, like, gets her. But Vernal distracts her, and then Cinder gets her again from behind. And so I thought that was a really interesting thing than just having Vernal just one-shot her from behind or whatever. It's that Vernal distracted her, and then Cinder turned her back again, and then that's when Raven kind of got her.
And what did Raven do again? She just pushed her, right?
She just, like, I don't know, she just bodied her. I don't even remember. It was such a, like, it was so
it was
traumatic.
such a magical
evening. It was just beautiful. Also, she did that, like, little, like, ice bomb thing, and then went, like, whoosh, and then, like, went at her face, right? And so that's why her mask... Cinder is ugly under there.
Yeah.
No offense or anything.
Like, it didn't even really look Zuko. It was, like, gray and sad.
I don't know how to explain, but it's like...
It looked like a gray potato.
Have y'all ever gotten, I guess... Okay, so this is a personal story, but I ripped up my knee in elementary school because we had this game called Foot Tag. And
you just kicked each other in the jaw.
Somebody kicked me, and basically I slid across the asphalt.
Oh,
and basically, there wasn't anything that they could stitch on, but my knee basically now has this weird, like, plastic skin on it or whatever.
It's like,
you guys can't see it. Maybe I'll show it to the patrons if they ask. But it's like, I don't know, like, before it was, like, this really, like, plasticky, like weird material.
How pores kind of like how... You have wrinkles in your skin and they're kind of small. They're just really big, flat wrinkles, scarred.
I know, like it's my knee is ugly, but I'll never forget that. Anyway, so that's kind of what Cinder's face looks like. Sorry. Also, I don't understand why Raven froze her. I guess so she couldn't use her arm to extend and then grab onto the side. But at the same time, doesn't that not preserve? I mean, it shouldn't work that way. But that makes me think that she's not actually dead, right? And we didn't hear her fall to the bottom anyway. But we're gonna discuss whether Cinder's actually dead or not at a later time. I'm glad that Raven kicked her ass. A lot of people said that Raven wasn't gonna kick her ass, but y'all were wrong. I don't know what to say. So yeah, I'm glad that it wasn't a fight in favor for an easy narrative, because an easy narrative would have been Raven beats Cinder beats Raven, takes her powers, and then, you know, everybody goes on with their life. That would have been the easy way, but I feel like this is a more interesting and, yeah, confused. We didn't hear a clang at the bottom, and I can't believe Vernal is dead. Like, I think that the relic must do something to bring her, like, there must be a way to bring her back. Like, I know I'm getting desperate at this point, and y'all may be like, Cal, just fucking, like, let it go,
on
Jesus
the topic
Christ.
of, like,
you know what I mean? But, like, at the same time, like, I felt such an emotional connection to her, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know, I attached to the gay. You know?
Well, she's not confirmed to be gay.
She looks gay. Listen.
Well, listen, right?
I've never seen a straight woman who looks like that.
Your aunt had that haircut.
I said what I said!
You really think... Really? Because she was drunk at a wedding, she was just like, my Vietnamese lover. I guess she never said he was a dude. Maybe your aunt's a lesbian.
Hi, Rita. Anyway,
you know herpes is also an STD.
Oh my god, I hate you so much. Lesbians can't get STDs.
Yes, they can!
I was just joking.
Jesus
I just
Christ.
wanted you to say something about that.
They most certainly can.
I know that they can, I was just joking! Anyway.
You're not, like, superhumans.
So, okay, so this magical door stuff, like, I'm sorry, but that, I gotta make a Kingdom Hearts meme. Because, like, Raven, like, opens the door and it's glowy and it's like, Kingdom Hearts.
Well, at least this door does something, and not those other doors with a bunch of
the relic looks like, okay, first it looks like it led her to fucking Vacuo, if I'm honest. Like, that's what it looks like. And so it kind of reminds me of, like, the Sands of Time idea. That, like, but it also reminds me, like, of what Vacuo would look like. And so I'm kind of confused about whether this is just a separate dimension, or if it led her to the middle of fucking Vacuo and that's where the relic is, or something weird. But I think it is its own little pocket dimension or whatever, and it's just a Sands of, again, the Sands of Time, or whatever. What else was I saying? Or maybe when the Spring Maiden walks in, it's sandy now, but when the Spring Maiden walks in, it'll grow. Right, and it'll be like an oasis. As for the actual relic, we didn't get a great look at it, but it looks like a little blue diamond when I went back to check it. So it could be that there's something in that diamond, or that the diamond is the relic. But again, we didn't get a good look at it, so... So Raven makes this face when Yang turns around, or when Yang comes up or whatever, because I think she was scared for a minute that somebody found her, but then she realized it was Yang and just gave her the most sour-ass face. And then... Yeah, and so Yang is there, but I don't know what Yang's gonna do or if Yang has beef with her or whatever. So I like, there's a couple things I want to talk about. So someone said that if Vernal and Raven was dead, or Vernal and Cinder was dead, that Raven could go back and just say that the maidens both kill each other, and that would save her. And I think that is what's going to happen at this point. And I think that when someone said that, I was like, well, that would mean Cinder would have to die, and like, that's not like, not that I didn't think it couldn't happen, I was just kind of skeptical about whether it would, but Raven could totally do that now, and say that to Yang. But anyways, so that's basically where this episode ends, and we will be doing prediction videos and speculation. But as for the rest of the episode, there's one last thing I want to talk about, and that is that in the little credits thing where they show the concept art, Cinder's weapon is described as like basically a weapon made out of coal and is burning. And if you all remember the Cinderella tale, the reason why Cinderella is called Cinderella is because the coals from the fireplace basically give her ash on her face, and so it's Cinderella, right?
Oh.
And she slept by the cinders and the coal and shit. So I thought that was a nice little callback if that was intentional. If it wasn't, then I gave too much credit to Rooster Teeth. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at with this episode. This is our last sort of thing of
Yang
analysis.
Drops down and it looks cool, and she's missing an arm, which, I mean, fight with that, okay.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna fight, though. I think they are gonna have an actual talk.
And also, I really like how, like, dreamlike that...
The Oasis, yeah. I think that it is going to be a case where the Spring Maiden walks in, you know, she revitalizes that land, and it recognizes her as the Spring Maiden, and so she goes inside and gets the relic, whatever. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the conversation between Yang and Raven, but I feel like that's a separate prediction video, since this is just an episodal analysis. So, anything else that you want to say, Hunter, or are we good?
I think that this...
Because I am basically breathless.
So
like, this
thing,
episode just took my breath away. That's all I kind of have
Take my breath away. No, honestly, like, there hasn't been a lot of fight scenes recently. Or, like it's been, like, a little bit of fighting, talking. A little bit of fighting, talking. Like, with the last few episodes. And then they were like, I wonder if they're really gonna, like, just hit the nail on the head and go for it. And then they did, and I came. I came, Carol. Because this song, the fight scene, and the rest of the episode. I'm so excited for the finale.
I thought we'd get blue balled, but we're not.
We're not. My balls are nice and happy.
Yeah, I know. It's nice. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed Patreon, Discord, all that stuff.
This is one of my favorite
episodes.
a
quick voice break before we decide to record everything else for today.
And before we ended, Cal HPV is also an STD.
You've already said 3. You said syphilis, you said chlamydia, and gonorrhea.
Well, so
you're
the
already
human
done.
papillomavirus.
Also, again, if you guys want to know what the
STD
the STD thing is about, then Patreon, because then I'll release that to Patreon. Anyway, so I hope that you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys.